good news, everyone.
Then where are we now?
Do you have idiots on your planet?
You're obviously confused.
It's me, Zoidberg, remember, from high school?
Hello, you're listening to the Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason. Today we will be discussing Futurama Season 1, Episode 6, A Fishful of Dollars, with your hosts, Tommy Roulette,
What's up?
Pete Woodward,
That's me.
and I'm Rick Horchie. Joining us today, our special guest is Sebastian King.
What's up?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good.
Good.
You're kind of overdressed for the summer.
No joke. I asked my girlfriend, I was like, what do you wear to a podcast?
So layers.
Layers.
To our listener at home, you can't see, but Sebastian is wearing a suit of armor.
It's a full suit of armor,
The cod piece is sweet.
only made from rodent skin. Just
He's-
different kinds of, not like one, I don't want to.
He's a wildling.
If you don't go on stage wearing something exactly like that in the next 2 months,
You know,
you've failed as an artist.
I bought a sewing machine for the family, and it just hasn't, I know. Where do you
Speaking of
find
which- Speaking of which, I want to bring this up off rip. We asked you to be on here because Tom knows you're a huge Futurama fan. I already knew that just from the name of your band, TCFH, which stands for...
It stands for Thunder Cougar Falcon Hawk.
Which is a
actually
tribute to...
Thunder Cougar Falcon Hawk is the name of the band.
Yes.
Well,
Well, it got-
TCFH is for
yeah.
hardcore fans to abbreviate.
There you
Yes.
go.
Or
Yeah.
people who
That
are
makes
lazy,
sense.
like me.
So
I mean, I like you
lazy.
guys, but I'm
Or
not
like people
saying
that have to put the sign up on the marquee.
Yep.
Like that's the TCFH. They're just like, nah, I can't. I can't do it.
take
There's
up
so
the
many,
whole damn flyer.
Right. A couple artists have gotten kind of mad. They're like, can we shrink the name? I'm like, no, you just got to shove more of it in there.
So what is it a tribute to? I was completely oblivious to this.
There's an episode in Futurama where I don't even remember what the episode name is or what even season it is, but
It's early. It's early. It's
it's
early
probably
season.
coming up within the next few, maybe within the next 10.
Oh, really?
But they go to a car dealership, and one of like the sports vehicles that Fry's just like looking at is called Thunder Cougar Falcon Bird.
It's a Thunder Cougar Falcon Bird.
Yes.
You know what?
Yep, she's excellent coffee, all right.
Yeah.
So maybe when we get to that episode, we should
I
have
think I
Thunder
like
Cougar
your
Falcon
band
Hawk on.
6%
Is that
more
the-
already.
Is that the one where they get the car and they drive on
Oh
Mars?
yeah. They
Yeah,
drive on
that-
Mars.
yeah.
They, and there's one gas station, and they pass it, and they're like, we can get back to it, and they just never.
Oh, that sounds like
I'll
a
turn the
Fry
AC
idea.
up to. I'll turn the heat up to.
It's a
to
Fry
that AC.
Amy heavy episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this episode, this sixth episode, A Fishful of Dollars, Fry discovers his bank account interest has made him a billionaire because 1,000 years is a long time to build interest.
Genius.
He buys the one thing in the year 3000 doesn't have, and that's anchovies. So,
Which I've never had, by the way. Do you guys like anchovies?
Oh my God, so good.
Did
It's
you bring some like I
the
asked you
best?
to?
The best topping.
Did
Did you not bring anchovies? Can we
no,
order an anchovy pizza?
Where do you even order an anchovy pizza? I'm pissed because
Most places have anchovy. I mean, you'd be surprised.
I've never
I
even
think,
noticed
yeah.
it on the
I
menu
sent
anymore.
a message to these
Oh, yeah.
two
Seems
because
like
they
it's
always
on, like, the
stop at the
secret
store
menu.
before they come over. They're like, you guys should bring anchovies so we can eat them on mic, and you both failed.
Oh, I would have. I mean, just eating anchovies. That's a tough break, man. That's hard.
I could
Yeah.
deal with it.
I've also
don't-
never
I mean,
had
I
a
can
sardine
too.
before.
Anchovies greater than sardines in my
I feel
opinion.
like we would have
Yeah.
eaten those, and then it would have been the next 10 minutes of us just like gagging and throwing up. And
Whatever.
Running to the bathroom.
I'm telling
Sorry,
you, if you put
guys
it on,
have
if you put it on a pizza, though,
unsophisticated palates.
Does it taste like?
it
I
tastes
don't know.
like,
Like I'm having like a bits of.
Fry
like,
tells you what it tastes like. It's like salty, oily, salty goodness.
yeah, and that's kind of what it is, and it kind of does melt in your mouth. Like it's it came from an animal,
It's
and it
pickled
shouldn't
fish.
just kind of disappear, but it does. Into
I mean,
this.
does it taste like
Amazing-
like a fishy kind of like bacon on your pizza, or is it like a?
No, it tastes like fishy, really fishy salt.
do you prefer it
Okay.
on a pizza, or will you eat them like?
I mean, I will eat an anchovy, but I mean, I would.
But we
much rather
can't
have
because
it,
you didn't bring any.
I'd much rather have it, on a Caesar salad.
I'm about this close to quitting.
On a
This is
pizza.
a huge fail. Anyway,
they were all out of anchovies.
The boy forgot to bring him.
yeah.
Kiff, you're the boy.
So they
How?
the intro gag, or it's not the intro gag.
It's the cold opening.
The cold opening. There was
Fry's just hanging out in bed while he's trying
yeah,
to sleep.
with the squeaky robots.
squeaking noise. Yeah,
And that was great. I mean, it was like kind of a really hacky joke, but they
Yeah.
played it out real well.
amazing.
And then it transitioned to the normal open, and I've been trying on every episode to look at what the cartoon is on the Jumbotron, because we've already discussed how it's like different every time.
Yes.
It's some weird vintage
Yeah.
cartoon. And for whatever reason, like at that part of the episode, when I'm watching it, the streaming gets all pixelated and bad. But when I do catch a little glimpse of it, they always look completely messed up. Like it's just, I think this was like pigs drinking out of a milking machine or
You're
something.
that
right.
makes
You're
sense.
right. But today I went back after I watched the episode because I kind of missed that cartoon, and I went back to go see what it was, and it did the same weird thing, and it was this weird like. I don't even know how to describe it. Like the image just got super weird. It was really creepy.
I don't get it. And
But-
they're like someone animated that at some point and devoid of context.
It's a Betty
like,
Boop cartoon.
Is it?
That doesn't. I
Yes.
mean,
That makes a lot of sense.
is it like
There's
a
a lot
Soviet
of weird stuff in
knockoff Betty Boop
cartoons.
cartoon?
It's called. I think I have the
In
notes.
Soviet Russia.
I think Betty Boop,
Betty Boop
was
you.
like my like weird like 4-year-old seeing like a cartoon, like a really old cartoon like that, having like
An erotic awakening?
Yeah, because it was like it was always a little bit weirdly sexual.
Oh,
But also,
I think it wasn't a little bit like
not
it
like
was a
Jessica
lot
Rabbit
sexual.
when I was like 8 or 9, where it was like, yeah, this is overtly, this,
But
and
Betty
I'm
Boop was-
still confused about what's happening. I'm not even at like, the stage yet or whatever.
It was-
the changes.
It was called Betty Boop's Crazy Inventions. It was from 1933.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Which
But like, but I was watching there were some weird like 1940s cartoons on in the background of this happy underdog karaoke thing Sunday I went to, and I was talking to my friend Ryan, and he was pointing out, you ever notice how in a lot of those 1940s cartoons there's a whole lot of like heavy drinking references? And I'm like, yeah, it's weird. I as like a little kid, I knew what a pink elephant was, and there was no reason to know. That's not even a reference people use now. Like that was
That's
a thing back
very
then.
true.
Or there
Oh,
were
it's
so
like
many
the whole Looney
cartoons.
Tunes thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Looney Tunes, all that stuff. There are so many times where, something weird would happen, and there would always be a cartoon character that like looked at a bottle and then like threw it away or whatever. There's a lot of like post-prohibition, like post-prohibition, like just like, oh, America drinks a lot, and it's totally fine to throw it in cartoons, which weren't really made for kids as much,
Along
as
with
everyone
the violence and
and oh my god,
the
yeah,
kind of weird rapey stuff and
yeah.
I mean,
The racism.
And super racist stuff. Yeah,
we
yeah.
should be doing a podcast about those instead of this quality cartoon.
just each super weird
just a
cartoon
deep
from that
dive
time.
into the depraved past of American animation.
No. Oh God. That's
just find all like the worst
dark.
possible like
a dark hole.
racist cartoons that they made. Those are probably locked up somewhere. We probably haven't seen a lot of them.
I think we've probably seen way more than we should have.
than they
Oh,
ever
yeah.
intended to
Yeah.
be viewed. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we've.
Well, now you can't see those anymore. Well, kids can at least, so whatever.
That's probably streaming on the internet somewhere.
Oh no, everything is. The racist ones are too.
Yes.
Oh no!
Yeah, but-
I wanted to talk real quick about that cold open with the spring guys.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
real quick. My favorite part of that is at the very end, the robot apologizes.
Yeah, I like that.
Which means that he was built real quick with the spring that apparently just goes squeaky, and that's just some shit he has to deal with the rest of his robot, which apparently is like eternity. Like that's how poorly built he is. Oh, my bad. Like, why would you build it that? Oh, it's amazing. Sorry. sorry.
Sucks. That-
gotta save $1. Gotta save
That's
every
Incredible,
last
right? It's
penny.
like Momco. It's
terrible,
perfect. Like,
robot body shaming of like, oh, you're stuck like this, like
It's
either
awesome.
an obese person or a super tall or super short person that like, does this or oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, and yeah. That's
And what is the function of those robots? Like, why were they built like
Dude,
that?
that's I'm saying like every body conscious fat robot was built that way. Every spring-based were like that's how they were built. Like they didn't like just have like a really depressing childhood and like just eat Cheetos like some of us here and just get big. No, they were just made big and like to be made fun of.
Well,
and I love that.
Theoretically, I mean, to spin this maybe somewhat positively, maybe the robot had parts wear out. And he had gone squeaky, and he hadn't had a chance to get it serviced yet.
Yeah,
He's like, oh,
those
yeah.
are probably
Really,
like
I'm just-
a sort of shock system. Maybe those robots were designed to like, I got to do this and lift this thing or whatever, and that's why they,
Or maybe
sucks
they
for them.
Maybe they catch things that people throw off of
Yeah,
tall
yeah,
buildings, and then they
totally.
can like bounce.
I don't think about the plight of the average day of a robot.
I
so-
take it totally literally. Like I will frequently ask throughout the course of this podcast.
A
why
lot of the
things don't
stuff
make
that's
sense.
that's
Right.
a,
No, I
a
understand.
joke for joke's sake. Pete will bring up like, well, how does the ship do this if it does that or whatever? Like that doesn't
yeah.
make sense.
You can't explain cartoon physics.
Someone has.
But on a show where they'll have episodes that are so nerdy with like the plot and like there'll be like a mathematical equation that explains what's going on in the episode
Right.
and like it's genius.
converted
but
into
then
the
they'll totally
alien
do
language
some,
and put on a slurm poster or
Right.
something.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That's what I love about that.
Those
about that show.
Lightspeed briefs were pretty sharp.
How soon
I'd
do
wear
you
'em.
think it will be until they start beaming commercials into our
I mean,
dreams?
do you honestly think that they haven't tried?
They
or
probably-
started something. Oh, man. I've had so many dreams. Don't you wake up and like your dreams affect your day. It makes perfect sense.
Illuminati, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the
You have a bad
Illuminati.
dream, that really messes with your morning, man.
I think we have a guest we can put on to get deep into that. I was gonna frame it more like, with VR
Advertising.
apparently becoming a real thing. I wonder how much
chips
that
under your
will
skin,
bleed in.
etc.
Well, right, like the Oculus Rift and the stuff like that now, where it's really like they're actually developing VR content that's what we've been promised it would be since the days of like laser tag and
And it's
happening.
Whoa.
Now it's to put this on and hang on to yourself.
I really want to see it. Like I'm really curious about the technology right
yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
And go. Where can I go to do that?
I think you can
Dave and
order
Buster's
it
probably
online.
have some cool stuff. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
pay for
I know.
it. I'm gonna go check it out.
Oh, is it not free to just try
I
out
just-
the latest?
I mean, I'll
virtual
go
reality?
rent.
Do they have it
or-
at Best Buy or something?
Yeah,
Maybe.
they're bringing back Circuit City. I heard, so that's what.
That's
what
exactly what it's
they're
going to be.
on.
You just walk in and plug your face in.
It's a virtual reality when you walk into Circuit City, but it's just a virtual reality of a Best Buy because it's better.
I just imagine you walk into an abandoned building
go-
and somebody hands you the virtual reality glasses, and then you're in Circuit City.
Right there, you go.
Like, I don't understand why Fry was so distraught about the possibility of the dreams being advertised in.
Because it's your dreams, man. He was
Yeah.
like, they made that joke like, well, they did, on billboards and in commercials and movies, but not in dreams.
On
know?
bananas is my favorite.
I forgot about that.
Ball games, bananas,
Milk
and
cartons,
writing in the
bananas.
sky. Like,
And he was like in the dream. He was in college, but he never went. I don't think he went to
no,
college.
you never went to.
So
And the course was ancient Egyptian algebra. The hardest thing that could possibly
You know what's
exist.
weird? I'm 34 and I still have like weird, stressful in school dreams or whatever, and I
Yeah.
haven't been in school in 12, 13 years or whatever, and
So they're real. I mean,
yeah,
that
it's
happens.
something
Yeah.
I think that's just a stressful place to go for a lot of people, and
we've all had those dreams.
and
where
work
you
dreams, old jobs I haven't
naked
been
at
at in 10
school,
years,
right?
Safe to assume Fry struggled in school.
I think I've
Yeah,
actually
like-
gone to school. And oh, wait.
Have you?
No.
Oh.
I've said too much.
Oh no.
You know how Bender shut that down? Quit squawking, Fleshwad. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
No, see, that was one of those Bender lines where I'm like, yeah, that's why Bender's kind of a once in a while character I like.
Horchie and I are not big Bender fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's moments where he's
Really?
great. He has whole episodes where he's great, but like for the most part, it's the way they wrote him as the cheap anti character of like when he says stuff like that, like meatbag and fleshwad and stuff, and I'm just like,
I'd rather
yeah,
see and hear that
I think you. Oh,
than there's a couple things that happen in here, and they're right after each other, where Fry is talking to another character and Billy West is doing the voice, and they're
remember that.
basically the same. And
Yeah.
it happens
Yeah,
a little
pretty
bit
close.
later with Bender. It's so disturbing. I don't like it. Like, they couldn't get there's 17 other people in the cast, you know, as they get into the expanded stuff. Like, they couldn't get someone to just mouth off those words.
Jumping ahead, but Phil Lamarche, how do you say his name? Or no,
Phil Lamar,
no, sorry,
Maurice
fuck, shit.
LaMarche.
There it is.
Maurice, I don't know, whatever. Has a big role in this episode, and I looked him up on there, which I probably did a long time ago, because I know he pops up once in a while. And I looked, and he has. I tried to take a screenshot of his characters that he does in Futurama, and it would be like 3 phone screenshots. I was like, all right, so he's just in it a lot. I didn't realize that. I thought he showed up once in a while. He does a ton of characters.
Oh yeah.
No, he's everywhere.
There's the ones where it sounds like him, like the one of the oldest mom son or whatever. You're like, oh, okay, that's definitely him. But he does like a whole lot of
Oh,
other
yeah.
characters. He does Morbo. Like that's
The greatest character in Futurama. Hands
belligerent
down.
and numerous.
Oh my gosh, it's the greatest character possibly in the history of cartoons. I love Morbo so much. That's my one grievance with this episode.
There's no Morbo.
Zero Morbo.
How do you say the letter that looks like a little man with a hat? Hello, little man. I will destroy you. Okay, so of all the ones we've done, I took the least amount of notes on this one, and a lot of them are one word. You know, when you write something down, you're like, I'll definitely know what this means. My first note was loading. Can anybody help me out?
That's the tagline.
That's the
the
tagline.
tagline.
That's what
Okay,
this.
thanks.
I
That's
wrote
what
it
this
down too.
podcast will be called.
All I
is
had to
loading,
do was
dot,
write
dot,
loading
dot, dot, dot.
and then tagline. But that was too much effort.
I
so-
wrote tagline : loading.
Right after that, I wrote the intro gag was good with an exclamation point and completely forgot about what it was.
I know
Reminded
it's
me
good,
about
though.
the squeaky robots.
I know it's good though.
It was, I mean, it was like Sunday afternoon. I can't be expected to remember this 2 days later.
I suppose.
So speaking of Phil, Maurice, Phil Lamarche. How do you
Maurice
say?
LaMarche.
Just keep digging the hole. We're never gonna get him on
We
the show
met
now.
so far this first season. I think every episode we've met some reoccurring characters. Right, there hasn't been one except maybe the first episode, the pilot. And in this one we meet 4 great reoccurring characters: Mom and her 3 sons. Who
Yes.
does anyone know the names of?
Yeah. Walt. Let me see if I remember. Walt, Larry,
Yes.
and Igner.
Yep.
Which I always thought it would be really funny to name a kid Igner and a kid Amos. So it's just Ignoramus. So you could just yell Ignoramus the whole day long.
You could just call one kid that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Which there is we find out that down the line that there's
Spoilers.
Igner has a dad
Oh,
that
yeah.
is a main character on the
Oh yeah.
series.
Yeah.
I liked that Bender did the whole shoplifting. I mean, again, super hacky, but the execution with the sweater.
It's priceless.
That was
He
a
has-
good.
He has the compartment. Why does he put the sweater on?
Exactly.
That's the genius, man.
That was like
Was a
big-
good Sideshow Bob rake gag with the
Yeah,
just
the
keeps falling out.
cans.
What I was saying was,
Right.
you know, like yeah.
Oh yeah.
I liked it because it was just so dumb, and especially that it's like an Irish Spring cable knit,
It's the
big
worst.
sweater.
Somebody on the Infosphere pointed out that why would he need the sweater if he has the like
The compartment.
yeah,
Yeah.
the compartment that never seems to the Mary Poppins bag.
And somebody
compartment or
said
whatever.
that
Yes,
maybe it was already full.
That's a good point, but at the same time, like for it's because it's funnier with the sweater. It's way funnier with
This
the
is
sweater because
also-
he never wears clothes. Like so, it's
We-
And when he does, they're special. I mean,
yeah.
like he picks an outfit.
Yes.
Like
Uh,
he's totally fine in his birthday suit.
For
So
example,
when he
the
needs an
monocle.
outfit- right?
Oh,
That
yeah.
was-
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
I don't know
apparently
if you know how rich he is.
everyone's wearing top hats. Maybe I need a monocle. I mean,
So when they have the little ad for the mom's the robot oil, I love at the end how it that Mom Love and Screen Door are registered trademarks of Mom Corp.
There's times that I've said, "Oh, are we doing that? I'm going to need a monocle," and I didn't even realize I was referencing this episode.
That's
where I just
awesome.
think
Yep.
of
oh yeah.
There's a lot of we've said this on the podcast before. Tom and I and a couple of our friends have like a shorthand with Futurama where instead of saying something or explaining something, we'll just say it could be 3 words. We'll say a line from Futurama, getting the point across of what we're
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I totally understand that kind of shorthand.
Yeah.
I don't.
When I was in high school, it was me and my buddy. We had a Simpsons shorthand, which then
Oh yeah, I have
grew.
a bunch of those too. Yeah.
That grew into Futurama shorthand with those.
It
gets the number of friends gets smaller and smaller by the years that you can.
We
do
talked
the
about
shorthand.
this before, where The Simpsons has been on. Like, I watched it religiously for like the first 12 years it was on, and now it's been on longer than that since then.
Right.
So theoretically, there's like that many more years of gags and non sequitur lines and things like that are just like completely unknown.
And
Oh, yeah.
especially with The Simpsons being on for as long as it has, there's so much more of a well to do that with, where like Tom could say anything and I could have like a Simpsons reference response or whatever. Right. Mostly with Futurama too, like you can usually find something. Earlier today, I'm just bringing this up because it happened like right before we came here. My cousin posted a picture on Twitter of he got a custom made, those pop dolls or whatever, the ones
pop
they
vinyl.
Oh, yeah,
vinyl
yeah,
things.
yeah.
He got a custom one of himself, and
That's cool.
I just wrote, "Looks like you, Poindexter," from the one Simpsons episode. Or whatever. But I said it
good.
knowing how much of a fan he was. I'm like, yeah, that's all I have to say, and
I like the fact that Mom is described as the universe's most huggable industrialist.
Right.
Like who are the least huggable
Right.
industrialists?
Oh God.
We got one running for president right now.
Yeah.
That's
But are
true.
there others? Is it like Rupert Murdoch and Donald Trump and
Ted Turner
Mom?
probably.
Ted Turner. I bet Ted Turner's
Warren-
irascible but pretty huggable.
And,
Buffett's kind of huggable.
He's not really an industrialist.
No,
though.
but he's just a loaded white man's a loaded white man.
Yeah, I like.
I'd say the most huggable is Cheney.
He is.
He's. We'll just set,
Buffett's an
we'll
investor, I
set
guess.
Buffett aside.
He's a huggable investor?
Yeah,
he's
I
a
don't-
huggable
yeah.
investor.
He's
Investors
definitely-
huggable, industrialists.
There's only
I
one
feel
way to
like-
find out, guys. We
I
need
feel
to
like
all go hug
Richard
him.
Branson probably would hug
Oh,
just
there you
hug
go.
you.
Well, that's just because he's on.
What about
ecstasy.
Elon Musk?
I was just gonna say
Elon
that. I was
Musk
gonna say
would
him.
like. No,
No, he's not hugging anything.
he's not.
Can you make
I feel
that
like
a
he'd
new
give me
game,
a,
Tom?
a
What?
tiny handshake
Like,
and a
who's the
curtsy.
most huggable industrialist?
We could.
Okay, we might have just played it. It was just it's just such a weird, funny line, and then they wind up at the police department and says, "Check out our generous brutality settlements."
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, this is 17
that was
damn
back
years
when,
ago.
But that was back when
That was
you
like the
know,
last time.
a few years after, like 5 or so years after Rodney King and stuff, and it was like, yeah, this joke that now.
Well, this was
like,
NYPD. They had their own problems going on.
Yeah.
I mean, forever. But
Right.
I think, I'm trying to remember the name, but there was something where they had just brutalized some immigrant. They picked him up for some minor thing and then did some horrible stuff to him.
I'm actually, I think I know the exact. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. And the fact that, like, that joke is completely current is,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
is terrible.
maybe more so right now.
Right. Jeez, oh Pete.
Why did I write down paintings in my notes?
Because
were
they were
destroying paintings?
They were
or something?
destroying
It's
paintings.
the
After
greatest
he
way to
gets
spend
all-
your money.
when he becomes rich.
That's awful and awesome.
What were they doing to him? Were they
They were
just
putting him in a
like-
catapult and shooting at them.
okay?
With like the
Shooting skeet.
They look like
Okay.
They look like M16s or and they just like lasers though, right? And
Yeah.
they're like,
Right.
Wow, 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 and they, like,
It was the Mona Lisa he picked up.
Okay,
and
all right.
That's
He just
awesome.
goes on a spending spree.
So
And
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the fact that they are wearing top hats and smoking cigars, just like Mr. Moneybags from Monopoly.
Yeah.
1,000 years from now, like, there's just those tropes that they never seem to get rid of.
I think I just wrote like a bunch of notes in a row of, because they had a little montage of when he got rich, all the little like things
Oh,
he
yeah.
did or whatever. The paintings, and then one of my favorites was Ted Danson's skeleton.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great.
I wrote in my note, why? Question mark. And then I looked up, and back in that time, Becker. He was on Becker.
Oh,
That
okay.
TV show was
Well, not just that. Cheers
fairly
was, I mean,
popular.
who's Cheers?
And
So that
it's
means
Ted
Three Men and a
Danson.
Little
so,
Baby?
So Fry grew up. I mean, then he would have
Yeah.
been growing up with Ted Danson being this kind of star,
Sure.
and then ultimately with his capstone of Becker as the highlight of like.
you wouldn't
so
even
he's
know
so
about
relevant.
Bored to Death
Yeah.
or CSI. I mean, Ted Danson's been on TV for like 40 years.
Right. Ted Danson. That's Whoopi Goldberg right there. That's Mary Steenburgen. That's a good. That's impressive.
And probably
That's what I'm talking about. Ted Danson.
a whole
Eclectic, I love it.
string of unnamed beauties.
Oh my God, silver. He's like a silver panther.
Whoopi
man.
Goldberg.
Have you
But
seen
like
that dude?
the ones that you know
Yeah, you
him
didn't
for the
know about
most,
that?
like that's
No, I knew
you
about
know,
that.
You
those
didn't
are the
know
ones
about
that he was
that.
like, no, this is my lady.
Yeah, no, this is. I mean, Mary Steenburgen. Come on,
Oh yeah.
what are you gonna do?
That's a girl from Back to the Future 3, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's an awesome reference. I actually think she's more attractive than Step Brothers.
Interesting.
Yes, she is
You know
great
what?
in Step
So
Brothers.
do I.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
she's-
on. I was
she's-
watching
she's
that
getting-
the other night.
She was on The Last Man. Did you just say that?
Fine wine. You know what
Or
I
what's
mean?
it called?
No, well, she's on
Last
Last
Man
Man
on
on Earth. But interestingly, she did not leave Ted Danson when he performed in blackface. I don't know if you knew that.
He was with Whoopi Goldberg at the time.
Yeah, I thought.
I know. I'm saying that he did it again, and Mary was okay with it,
Oh.
which
Fool
is
me-
something I just.
and that
Fool
is
me
why.
once.
That is
Fool me
why
once.
I would want his bones too in the year
you can
3000.
Yeah, and you know what? That's really not a bad skeleton selection.
I just sold that. It was way too serious, and you just took it like as serious.
I thought you were giving me like a
I
celebrity
don't.
trivia thing. Like,
Yes, Ted Danson is a horrible racist. I thought we all knew that. He's not really a horrible racist.
I know.
He's probably just a moderate one, like most people.
My notes are out of order.
That's all right. That's
we
all right.
skipped past the pizza place.
No,
Which-
not
which-
yet.
I think so.
Oh,
because-
no.
Because they talk about how anchovies were fished to death by Zoidberg and his people, which
right around the time
After-
your people came
Yeah.
to
And
Earth.
we're
Yeah.
starting to get into some good Zoidberg moments
yes,
in this
this
episode.
is where
Like, it's just-
it starts. But the original Cosmic Rays pizza robot Bender voice. So they do it with Fry a couple of times. I think one of the cops had a Fry voice, and then they do it again, or maybe it was at the mall. I don't remember, but there was like two instances of Billy West talking to Billy West, and then another one of Bender talking to John DiMaggio, talking as a different robot, and like, you know, that gets me down, man. It ruins my suspension of disbelief.
They also record those at the same time because
Yeah.
they go through like the script. So when John DiMaggio has to do like two different voices talking to each other, he'll go back and forth.
this is
That's
early
crazy.
on. You think he'd try and sell it, you know?
I mean,
It really doesn't ruin anything for me.
no, I didn't even notice it. Like, I mean,
Honestly.
I notice it now that I'm paying more attention.
Well,
but
now
I
that
didn't
you
used
said
to.
it, now that's all I'm going to look for.
I get real
Aw.
sensitive to it.
You
Have you
know?
guys ever listened to Phil Hendry? Like that's he's a genius, but he is for like 20 some years done a radio show where all of his call-in guests are him doing different voices.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he-
that guy. Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
it's amazing. And he'll like shift from talking like in a high pitched woman voice to his own voice to someone else's
He-
voice, all saying totally preposterous
He
stuff.
did a Marin episode. Did you see that?
He did Marin. He's done.
Yeah,
he's
I
been
know
around
that.
on TV.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the sort of thing where it's like, well, he can pull that off. There's these like Billy West is a really, really fantastically talented voiceover actor.
Yeah.
So is John DiMaggio, and they can't like 17 years
Maurice
ago
LaMarche.
put in
So is Maurice LaMarche.
Yes.
half a little bit of effort
Maurice
to just
Philip
make it sound a little
LaMarche.
different. They probably had a studio full of equipment. They couldn't put a little flanger on his voice or something. It just bums me out.
That's
I'm already upset about
That's
the quality
awesome
of
that
this.
that's what
I don't
pissed
know.
you
I
off.
bet.
know what?
I bet the recording time to do the voiceovers was like very low in the budget at the time. So it was
There-
just like they'd go in and
Animated,
do stuff.
yell
and
at
then,
pros.
like,
They're
not reading it.
I mean,
There's so many characters in that show that you have no idea who they are. That Billy West probably does 10 million of them, and let's say he has 200 voices or whatever, and 50 of them sound alike. That's fine. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if they didn't. That wasn't like that. But think about all the ones that you have no idea it's him, and it's like, oh crap! Like,
I would
When-
love to be a voice actor. God.
When I
would be
reboot
so
boot
fun.
Be amazing.
when
Oh,
I
it's a
reboot
dream.
Futurama with all women characters, I'm gonna make sure that they all sound different.
There's an
when they-
episode where they switch genders.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So good.
yeah.
We'll get there.
You could have said any episode, and I would have been like, so
Yeah.
good.
except
Uh,
except the one that's banned.
Well, so,
oh, come on. No, you got it. Don't ban that.
No,
It's
we
so-
won't ban that episode.
Don't. It's super important, and
Yes,
it's
yes,
amazing.
I agree.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
what is
You're
it?
right.
Why did I don't. We'll talk about it when we
You'll
get
get. Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry. It'll happen.
there. The gag with Amy's obscene tattoo because of the low resolution TV.
But now we all have high def TVs.
I know,
But it's still filmed in 4.3.
Right.
What-
So it's it's like
was it? What was the obscene text?
I looked actually because I was like, I'm doing.
Did you like
nothing.
depixelate it?
No. I just looked at any because I.
Yeah,
have
you'd
a
think
decent,
there'd be some kind of like.
I have a decent television. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I still blurry thanks
Yeah.
to Futurama because I understand how animation works. And
The worst.
I don't actually.
I love obscene text.
I assume I have an image in my head, but it's raunchy. It's raunchy, man.
Patrick,
Microwave porn?
remembers.
No, you just it's microwave point. No, it's a golly, no.
Was that a callback to something I
You know,
talked about before
and
we
just-
started recording?
That was
Probably.
that was
Patrick
before
Farm
we recorded.
remembers.
That was before, but I remember. No, it's
remember
like
when women couldn't vote?
Patrick Farm remembers.
looking like an old Russian prison tattoo book, and like that's the images I
Oh,
have.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh.
She's just got some gnarly, awful, over-sexualized thing on her bicep, and that makes me laugh every time. That she just had this like moment of just she was so hard.
I think she had a
Or, like,
lot of moments like that.
When she
Amy's
was
a
hard,
very,
I mean,
like,
it's true.
she's a real wild card character. They all
Wild
are.
card, silver spoon. I mean, she's got all that money at her disposal.
She could have it put on and taken off at will.
It's true.
It's that Petridge Farm commercial. I now were
Petridge
they
Farm
saying
remembers.
Petridge Farm?
It's Petridge, yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
they
really?
weren't saying
Oh,
Pepperidge.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
But-
notice that.
It was. I loved it because that one gets so specific to those commercials from like the 80s of. You remember when you could eat crackers anytime you wanted out of a cracker box full of crackers?
Yeah.
Patrick Farm remembers. It's so specific. and
I love
beautiful.
it because it takes that 90-degree like real quick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It says something super like whimsical, and then the next one's like, oh no,
Yeah.
Pepperidge
Do,
Farm
do they
Pepperidge
ever
Farm
call
remembers.
back to that in other episodes? Because that could just
Petridge
be
Farm?
such
No,
a.
I
No,
don't
but
think
Family
so.
Guy stole
Family
that
Guy
joke later.
stole it, and they got a little bit more.
Yeah,
Like-
Because as they would,
Less-
you know,
less
they,
funny.
What
Yeah.
did Family Guy do?
Less funny and
They
more
did
frantic.
No,
remember
it was
when
funny.
certain people couldn't vote or something like
No,
that?
it was Family Guy. It was like, remember when you ran over that guy and you thought he was dead and drag him to the lake
Oh my
or whatever,
God,
and
I-
it was like Pepperidge Farm remembers
I
that.
do remember that now.
Like
Yep.
it was like one of
Oh,
like,
I didn't remember
earlier.
the specifics of it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I
seasons.
do remember that now.
He goes to the auction and starts bidding on everything. You find out at the end that he bid on everything.
He bought
there.
everything.
Wait,
And they go,
first of all,
boo.
Is there an in between?
no. I
thought I was steering the ship in the right direction.
I get you were, but I wanted to say the fact that the apartment that he gets,
Uh-huh.
right? That's like a hipster's dream right now.
Oh, it
apartment.
totally
Oh
is.
yeah, actually, this what you guys were saying is that you can live in any time.
Whenever
you
you
can
want.
do the what did it say? Still with asbestos or asbestos included or something like that.
That
or-
really
Asbestos is-
that really is like, I mean, that's like Portland in a nutshell, man. Like that, you know what I
It's-
mean?
yeah,
But
having a
it's
typeweighter and a record
The most,
player.
the
and
most
et
digital
cetera.
thing you have is CDs, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And then he puts on
And the-
Sanford and Son.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the line that comes right before it? Because it's something about like, you know, how much of a mom says something like, you know, he's a genius, and then it goes back to him. It's like,
It's something
That's
like,
amazing.
and you ugly Doris. I mean, it's really like some Grady line from
Of course
the
it
show
is.
that you just come up every single time. And God bless it.
Wait, but first he goes to the auction because he goes back to the apartment.
Yeah.
In the auction after the auction, and when he goes to the auction, you were gonna say orgy.
Oh yeah, so he goes to the auction. He bids on all the stuff from the 20th century.
buys it all.
And he gets, everybody's like, it's sold to the man who has bought everything at the auction. And then boo.
That's amazing.
And he gets the anchovies come up. And
you almost see Mom tip her hand at that because that's where you get introduced to her in person, and she's got the little change purse. Like, well, I don't know if $2 million.
yeah, she does her
Right.
two voices. Her her.
That's amazing.
And that actress is great. She does a lot of characters in Futurama, and
That Tress McNeil.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the anchovies come up. I brought it up. Somebody else say something. I don't have anything else to say about the anchovies.
Well, then once he has
$1
them,
jillion.
1 jillion, sir. That's not a number.
and everybody's surprised.
They go, oh, at the 1 jillion, and then he goes, that's not a number, and they go, oh.
That's the most gasps I've ever heard in like one
so
scene.
many.
And when he gets it,
That's my favorite.
he's just like he's using it as a coaster. Like he
$50
just
million coaster, man. I mean, he doesn't.
and so instead of stealing the anchovies, they bankrupt him.
Right.
Like that's their plan. It's
But
so
why
bizarre.
do they want the anchovies?
Because anchovies would
them
be like
into
the most
third world
natural
children.
oil, so that you don't clone them and turn them into the new source of robot oil, because it would put mom out of business where you have this perfectly sustainable
Right. Perfect
thing.
oil that lubricates all the robots, keeps them all
Keeps those
supplied.
springy robots at the beginning from, you know.
See, that's
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
What? Foreshadowing. There you go.
But again, that's a kind of a joke about how oily and greasy anchovies are, and yet you
Yeah.
forgot to bring them.
I brought me, and I'm oily and greasy.
How long do you think it will take for Sir Mix-a-Lot to actually become classical music?
Well, okay,
Isn't-
so what's...
Do you do the 25-year rule like with the car? Like
I
a
don't know.
classic
Like
car?
what's?
Well, that's-
it's,
I
I mean,
think it's
that's
past
the
that.
same
That becomes
classical music is
vintage.
still
Because
classical
the thing is,
music.
there's modern classical music. Classical used to mean when popular music came out, and pop music includes everything from the blues on, everything from the original.
Like Robert Johnson,
Yeah,
1929.
exactly.
That's pop
Everything
music.
that's pop
That's
music.
considered okay.
And so is Britney Spears, and so is fucking death metal. So
But
is
this ties back-
so like Scott,
REM.
So like
ska,
early
everything
20s,
is-
like Scott Joplin, say like early 20s. That's classical.
There's
No, I didn't even
No,
mean.
it's
okay,
not like
so
it's not like you're not talking about a split.
everything.
Okay.
Slave song post is considered pop music. Everything
Okay.
it's a topic we brought up before. I think I brought it up before.
classical music.
No, that
Give me a
As-
monocle. I didn't know we talked about classical music so often.
as time goes on, in the future, you view the past under a sort of historical compression,
Right,
where things that are not necessarily adjacent to each other, while you're experiencing them, 1,000 years from now, it's like, well, that just kind of happened right next to each other. I mean, it's like when you talk about the pharaohs or the pyramids, it's like, oh yeah, they built the pyramids thousands of years ago, but there was like hundreds of years in between each of those pyramids.
Yeah,
Right.
So
you're right.
there's actually a book that I have it in my queue to read by Chuck
Time is
Klosterman.
just-
Boring.
No, time is compressed.
It's
I
called
get
But What
that.
If We're
Tell me
Wrong?
when it's on
And
Netflix.
it's about looking at today's common ideas as if you're in the future
Mm-hmm.
to go, this is something that was completely normal and thought to be good at this time, but 500 years from now, how are people going to look at it?
We
Like-
realized it was the Illuminati.
When Beavis
Yeah.
and Butthead is looked at as art 500 years from now.
Well,
or
not
which
necessarily.
I already look at it as
I
art
get what
now.
you- I get
But
that.
Ted
that-
Danson's bones.
But his,
That's
in,
art.
in the interview I heard with him
That's
about
art
the
now.
book, they're talking about rock and roll. And in 500 years, rock and roll is going to be, the Beatles through Slipknot and TCFH, and if you had to pick out, like, if you go, like, who's a classical composer? There are lots and lots of classical composers. You go, like, Beethoven? I don't know.
Right.
So in the future, like, he his argument is basically probably Chuck Berry. And then he
Right.
has all
Yeah,
his
yeah,
recent
yeah.
things, but it's like
That's
that's
the
where
point.
it gets
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah,
and
right.
it's just that's one of those things that's going to keep coming up in this, where you look at it, and and it's compressing all
I
the
think
stuff we
I like
do
Big
now.
Butts could stand the test of time.
It
and
could.
become-
You can't
but
deny
there's,
it.
No.
but, there's gonna be
We all like
there's
big
gonna
butts,
be
and we
500
can't
years
deny
from now.
it.
There's gonna be like those classical
there
music
will-
nerds.
God willing, there will always be big butts.
Always, but there's going to be classical music nerds that go like, "Oh yeah, I know the classical you listen to. The standard is
The
Notorious
only-
B.I.G., but you got to listen to this weird guy. His name's Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
gonna be,
Queen.
and there's going to be, and they're going to join their hipster thing, and they're going to get an apartment with hardwood. I mean, it's all
Yep.
cyclical. You know,
And
what I
there
mean?
is a
and
preoccupation
that's
with
what
large
is
rumps.
great about Futurama is
Right.
that everything in the future, it all like comes back around to like the modern time that the show was
Absolutely.
on, and how that it's
Absolutely.
just going to become the same thing, and that that's happened. Like so many things have become cyclical in even our generation.
Absolutely.
When Mom's three sons
I don't
execute
care.
their
Who cares?
ruse to trick Fry, I love
They're plumbers.
as I always say in pretty much
We're
every
here to adjust your
episode,
pipes.
Fry is so dumb, but they come in, they abscond with him, and they try to convince him that it's still like the 1990s, and he's like, "Well, I thought I was frozen,
That whole
but that sounds like me."
everything from that point on why do you have a mustache? Or did you grow a mustache? No, I didn't.
No,
And he tears
he rips it
off.
off.
And then the whole thing with
Pamela Anderson head.
and great. I think my favorite part of the show is everything after he gets kidnapped.
I love that. Like, it's obvious that Fry is. And you say dumb, but I think of him as trusting, and he's so trusting enough in this whole situation, the mustache and whatever, that they get Pamela Anderson, but like that doesn't matter, like at all. Like that could have been a stranger off the street, but for some reason they get the
He
head
didn't
of
even like
a,
recognize her.
no,
Or
and he's like,
anything,
oh hey, like
from
it doesn't
Baywatch
matter.
the movie. That
Right, they
didn't happen
get
yet.
one of them to put a turtleneck, like a giant turtleneck on to put, and then her head on top.
And
But like
Igner
all they,
talks through the sweater later. Like,
right, like all Igner could have did is like just walk up to the counter, and it would have been the same thing.
Could I have a cheese pizza and a Coke?
Like all that planning for just
and
like
then every
he's an
time he
idiot.
mentioned his pin after that, he's where is his secret? He's like, same as my pin number, 1077. And then he says it again later.
Right, he's like, oh, I probably shouldn't say 1077 out loud. My pin number. Like,
I actually did put it in my notes. Fry is so dumb. I think I'm
he's
6 for
trusting.
6.
He's so
I like that. He's just more
he's
trusting,
trusting,
like,
man. He really is, and
He's guileless. I don't know that he's trusting, but he's also
guileless. This is the same man who wrote a Scooty Puff Jr. into the magical mystical brain.
sure.
He has his moments.
There's moments of guile in Fry.
At best, he's an idiot savant.
Oh, yeah.
At best.
Yeah, that's
But
probably.
I think he's mostly an
You
idiot.
That was
nailed the
far
head.
better than the best I had, so I'll take it. Idiot savant. I'd go with that.
But when he goes
Trusting
into
idiots. Oh, poor Fry.
he gets into that Hitchcock dream sequence, and this is like the second time they've done that sort of thing. The episode where Bender goes out on his own, and they have all the wholesome, like the things showing up in the background, like it's like a film noir sequence, and they have, reading room.
like a previous episode? Or an
Yes,
episode?
but in this
Oh.
episode they do it where it's almost like the sequence from Vertigo where he's having the dreams later on in the episode, and there's all the things happening, but it seemed very Hitchcockian to me. I liked it.
What part are you talking about?
Are you talking about where at the end, like when he gets hit on the head and then
Yeah.
he's like, Leela and Bender's head show up and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
See, and that's why I'm never like I hate.
Oh, so I
Bender.
start
He's
using
never funny.
big words like Hitchcock. and now-
Hitchcockian. It
Yeah.
threw us all for a loop.
I'm gonna need 2 monocles if you don't.
That's just that.
I call those glasses.
I already have 2 monocles
Sport
on,
2
buddy.
monocles, no connector in the
I'm
middle.
gonna need some bi monocles.
Separate. Oh my god.
When Leela they're talking to him, the floating heads are talking to him of Leela and Bender, and they're like, or whatever, and Leela says something, and Bender just goes, wee, and like that kind of like,
Well, there you
so
go. I
good.
just watched you both laugh at something Bender did.
yeah, no,
so-
it happened.
Well,
They talk shit about Bender all the time.
He's incredible. I mean, he's a
we're
top
right.
5 character for sure.
back to Fry. He when they were in the pizza parlor, the fake pizza parlor, and then they get his PIN number after he's like, cheese pizza and a large soda, 1077, same as my PIN number, and they all start laughing.
Yeah.
and then he just looks around and then starts
Oh, yeah,
laughing.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Because
that's
he's
when-
trusty. Yeah,
Right, those Fry moments, those
he
are my
read the
favorites.
room and he's like, well, this is all I can do now is just laugh with him.
And Igner, who is in the turtleneck, is just like, hey, you can't laugh.
Right.
I
It's
love
Igner, right? Yeah. Amazing.
I love the the resolution of this episode where I mean it all comes to a crashing halt pretty quick at the end, like once Mom figures out that he just wants to eat him.
For sure.
And he never gets his money back. That's the part that didn't make sense
Well,
to me.
because it has to do the honeymooners thing where it goes back, it resets.
Just resets
to, yeah, you know,
completely?
he
But-
can't.
Also, is Fry really the one to bring litigation to Mom? This trusting idiot savant at best. I mean,
He probably still doesn't understand what happened to him. You
right.
know what I mean?
And you know,
like,
and like if we're not to skip, but to fast forward, like he got his wish, which is just to eat that.
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
one pizza
Yeah.
with everything but
So you
and
can share
okay,
it with
so
everyone.
that
one
brings.
with-
Sometimes it's very simple. Every episode isn't Jurassic Park, but every episode, the thing that makes this a good television show, besides the hilarious jokes and the awesome nerd references and stuff, is
the gratuitous alien nudity.
is
So much.
Every episode, there's a point to it. If it were a live action show, it would still have that, like, this could be a primetime show, and here's the message behind it. this one wasn't too heavy, but it was Fry gets money, abandons friends for things. What I took from it, and in the end realizes, oh, I really just wanted this thing so I could share it with my friends. Do you take anything else from the episode on that level of like?
When you say it like that, it's almost an inverse of the last episode where Bender abandons his friends thinking he doesn't need them when he goes to.
I'm sorry. What's episode?
It's the
5?
one where he
What was
goes to
that?
the robot planet and
Fear
incredible.
of a
Okay, I
Bot
got you.
Planet.
Yeah,
and he abandons
Absolutely.
Fry and Leela.
Yeah,
for
totally.
becoming a robot
Well,
celebrity.
he's the only one that can deliver the package. So
Yes.
yeah, pretty similar. Just like realizing like why your friends are your friends and you need them more than fame or money or whatever.
And they're
He
not
even
even
gets-
worth a penny.
Bender even gets upset when Fry was like, I just need whatever in things. And Bender's like, I'm a thing.
Yeah. Oh my God, amazing. I don't know. What I love about Futurama and Fry is that Fry is this, to some people dumb, to some people trusting, idiot savant, but there's something innately, I think, like he's a perfect everyman, and
that's what I've
every
been
man
saying.
has that idiot side.
He's us.
And what-
He's us if
and-
we went to the year 3000.
Right.
That's-
Well, yeah.
he
absolutely.
represents,
totally,
you and me
kind
and,
of, fish out of water. I
Yeah.
love that. But what I love about Fry is that if you think about it, at the end of the episode, he literally is in the same place that he was when he started the episode, with 93 cents in a bank account or nothing, and this time he gets to do what he wanted.
stuff
Like
in
he
the middle.
literally achieved his goal, which was share a pizza of anchovies with. And
Until Zoidberg comes in.
Well,
and
no, they
goes
all got to
bonkers.
try
my
it.
favorite is that he eats it and then they all eat it and spit it out. And he goes, no one likes it the first time. Like he knows they're all going to just spit out the last anchovies. No one likes it the first time. And you'll never be able to try it again.
And then he's like, it'll
that's
grow
all-
on you,
Yeah,
but it's the
it'll
last
grow on you.
can.
It's the last one, right. Like, oh yeah, it'll totally grow on you.
Referencing my
Just-
earlier point, Fry is so dumb.
I don't know, man. He's trusting in the moment.
He's
very,
trusing that there'll be more anchovies.
Oh,
you know?
don't
Like-
don't try and spin this as like
He's-
Fry's some Zen master.
No, I don't think he's a Zen master, but like, maybe he is so dumb that he literally only sees the moment in front of him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think he has some foresight, but like we've never seen like a thing where Fry saves all his money and like acts response. Like he never changes. He's
Speaking-
always just in the moment. Fry.
Well, yeah.
Speaking as a walking Fry character in reality, in our reality, life can be pretty great when things are simple.
There you go. I'm more of a walking hedonism bot. I think that's my guy. That's the.
I've become pretty fond of investment strategies, honestly. Sometimes it's kind of neat to watch that stuff work out. Just
investment
saying.
strategies.
Yeah.
What?
Pete's
I
an
should get
80s
into
guy.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm like good
know.
and got
I don't think that's-
What is it? With the bonitis.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
mean, except without the cocaine or the suspenders.
Right.
You know what?
Pete's only regret is that he has bonitis.
Another
what's
revelation in this episode is that cows have gone extinct.
Oh, they're dead. Cows are gone. I don't know. I've eaten cow. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, I assume replaced by. I don't. Well, number one, I don't know how the cows went extinct, but
They-
I do assume they're replaced by buffalo. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Oh.
So everyone's just eat. So wait. So when someone eats this, well, do they even eat? Usually, Elzar's got some fancy, weird. I mean, he's got spice.
Oh,
whistle,
yeah.
For God's sakes.
One,
Pulling the
I
spice.
forget where I was, but I think I posted it on Facegram or Instabook years ago.
It was on Meister.
I
No,
was-
it was on Friendspace.
It was on. I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of like AIM chat and combine it with another instant message thing. Anyways, I was somewhere outside of Ohio and I saw like about the size of a quarter, a bug like a with like big beetle wings, dead. Super, I mean, cow pattern, black and white, and took a picture of it and posted it like bugalo, blah, 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 and like one person got it, and I was so sad. Like
That is
I'm like
sad.
they're real, but
Bugalo exists.
Yeah.
Just miniature Bugalo.
That's how do you think
Is-
they started?
is it bad
Of
that
course,
when they
you know,
said
you-
that
Radiation and mutation.
GMO shit.
no, they're well, I don't know, maybe they.
Oh, we can
no, 'cause
swear,
there's
right?
no-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've been not swearing on purpose, I think.
no, it's
Fucking dummy.
golly, yes,
Silly-
you can.
Silly fucking.
stop because I'm gonna put beeps. I like putting beeps in all of it.
They're kind of
Oh,
funny.
nice.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Tom, you're a lazy.
Tom, you're a There you go. Beep that shit. Can I tell you real quick
Yeah.
about my favorite quote from this? We
Yes,
skipped
please.
over it.
Oh,
but it's
yeah,
my
no.
Oh yeah,
favorite-
if we skipped over something,
So-
anything, bring it back up. It
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
matter.
real quick. This is my favorite quote from this episode, and it's probably from the first season. This quote, I don't know why, it just got put into like my friend lexicon at about 15, and it has never ended. I can go up to any of my friends and make this face and go, "Ooh, we don't take Discover." I can do that to any of them, and they'll just like almost cry from laughter.
I have that in here too.
It's
The
just
best
that. I mean, yeah,
Like that joke
every-
is so good because all the other credit cards were discontinued,
That joke is so.
and
It's
that
like a
it's
perfect.
that
joke.
one isn't, but they don't take it.
It
You
is
know,
a per-
whatever
yeah,
credit cards
right.
they have,
like
so,
whatever
yeah,
credit
perfect
cards they-
joke, exactly.
It is perfect.
Yes.
I love that. Like, and I can just walk up to God. I can probably count them 2 hands, dozen people. Ooh, sorry, we don't take Discover. And we've all had that guy. Ooh, sorry, no. I love
Sorry,
that.
not sorry.
You all know that Morbo is my favorite character,
Yes.
but my second favorite character, little known, is QT McWhiskers, which is a doll that Farnsworth made that looks like a cat.
Oh, yeah, and
That
shoots rainbows out
that-
his eyes.
Yeah, that shoots rainbows out of his eyes. That mom wanted to turn like 12 feet or 30 feet
Oh, that's
tall
the one when
and have
they
him
showed
shoot
them
laser-
younger when they were
Yeah,
dating?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's just trampling through a city, like murdering people with lasers going like, meow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, QT McWhiskers, second best character in the whole Futurama
I can get behind
sphere.
that. Yeah.
Oh my god, Morbo, QT McWhiskers.
There was a little
Hedonism
Nibbler appearance in this too when they were drinking champagne.
Right. Oh, of course.
And
Nibbler.
at the end, when they're
Nibbler
eating
number
anchovies,
Was he there for
he's-
that?
Leela's holding
That-
Nibbler.
That reminds me. I kind of wanted to ask this when we were talking about Thunder Cougar Falcon Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
This show has it. So far, every guest we've had in these first few have been like huge Futurama fans, like yourself. Tom and Pete and I have different levels of fandom. Where like Tom is like Trekkie for Futurama, like huge Futurama fan. I'm medium. Like I've seen them a bunch of times. Like I said, our friends, we have all those references and whatever. And Pete's on the level of like he watched it when he was on. He'll catch an episode on cable or whatever once in a while.
Well, yeah,
He knows
I
the
watched
show.
like the first couple seasons.
Yeah, he's
20 years
He
ago.
knows the
Right.
yeah.
I've had some stuff to do.
Like
in the interim.
familiar with
For
the way I
sure.
am with like a bunch
For
of other
sure.
stuff or whatever. When this show came out, about where were you in life? How old were you?
Oh,
like,
I mean, like this is I'm with Tommy. You know what I mean? Like
you guys
we're
are about
gonna
the same
lump-
age, so you were like
No,
early high
We're
school,
not.
or-
I don't think we're the
Oh,
same
you mean
age.
fandom? Okay.
Fandom wise, I'm with Tommy. I think I'm the youngest at the table. So this came out what 2000.
99.
99, right? So I'm 12 years old.
Okay,
Right.
perfect age.
Right.
Like, that's
I'm 12
that
years
was-
old, and this continued. How many seasons in a row? 5, 6.
It
And
went
then it
4 and then stopped,
4
and then there
stopped.
were the movies.
So it went till I was 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 16, I was in high school. Like I was watching this every week.
Yeah.
It
You know
was
what I mean?
back
It was a
before we
weekly
had
thing.
too many shows to watch. It was,
It was
like
a weekly
oh,
thing, and then it ended. And I remember like going to college, and like this was one of the DVDs you like because
Yes.
this was college in like 05.
Yeah.
So we didn't have
we didn't stream stuff.
I
You
didn't
got
have
the
smart. I didn't have a
DVDs,
smart TV. I didn't have
Yeah.
anything. I think we had like an N64. You know what I mean? Like now there's like crazy stuff. I mean,
Going to college in 05.
well, you
Now,
know.
now they send Futurama into your brain.
Well, now it's 2016. I can't had I don't know when my parents wanted to do it to have me. That's not on me.
I'm trying to think.
That's the
I was,
perfect age, 12.
I was already
when
on my way to
The
my
Simpsons
first
was in
divorce.
its heyday. I was about, I think it came out, I was like 10 or so. And then when like season 3 and 4 hit, I was like,
I'm a total child of the 90s. I mean, from 90, it's like I count myself as like 93 to 05 is like that's my
Yeah,
formative.
sa-
Those are my
same here.
formative
That-
years.
that was
so
my,
yeah, I mean, it's Simpsons come
like
out
90
89
to et cetera.
It's super. I mean, that's where I was. So I'm learning it as a kid, thinking it's hilarious as a child.
Yeah.
And I'm
Like-
still watching these up. This is season 1 we're talking
Yeah.
about.
And
I
it-
mean,
that's
that
perfect
episode I
because
saw for the first time I was 12, and it's still awesome.
It's perfect because at that age, you're getting a lot of the good jokes. And then years later, you get more jokes that you didn't get at that time.
yeah.
You're rewatching it.
And
you
I'll
know?
be. My mother was she was a big fan of. She thought I could handle it, and she sat me down in front of sitcoms as an early child. Like as a guy, I remember.
Ditto, yeah.
I remember Frasier. I remember
Same here,
Cheers.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember Seinfeld. I remember every episode. I mean,
We
she
watched
didn't-
those as families. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Homicide, Life on the Street.
Homicide.
Oh,
I actually
man.
remember Homicide: Life in the Street, and my mom being like, "Yo, you can't."
This has been really productive. Like we chatted this whole episode up. Did you have any of your patented games or other things to bring to the
I-
Oh, you
you
want
know
to do
what?
games? You want to do?
I normally do bang, marry, kill with characters, and I like to do it.
That's awesome.
I like to do it with new characters that
yeah.
introduced in the episode. And
Okay.
this one, like, it was mom, it was
And her three
sons.
sons. It really
and,
isn't like a-
it's real hard. Pamela Anderson's in the
Yeah.
episode.
I don't know
but,
if you call it a character.
Herpes. Is there Mary Bang herpes?
Yes. But I think I got one. I think it's going to be bang, marry, kill. Mom, her son Walt, or Zoidberg.
I mean, is this? This is to me. All right.
Yeah,
So,
you can think about it. We're all gonna.
oh
we're
man,
all
you,
gonna.
you right away. You bang mom.
Walt's the oldest, right?
You bang. Yeah,
Walt
Walt's
is the-
he's the Mo of the Three Stooges.
okay.
For
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
You bang mom. She is a firecracker. And I know you marry her because you get the money and stuff, but you know mom
Yeah.
has weird clauses. She's not letting her
You'd have-
new
there'd be a-
husband.
Oh yeah.
A
She
prenup.
knows what to.
Mom
There'd be a
didn't-
prenup.
Mom
yeah,
didn't-
yeah, yeah. You don't come away with it, but you get to live in the luxury. You're doing it wrong.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that because
Who needs it?
first, and so you see bang mom, you get her out of the way. Number one, I was always either a Larry or a Curly fan, so you kill Walt. You kill
Okay.
the Mo.
All right.
Yeah.
Mo, you don't need him. Why do you need him?
No.
Because Igner is really the funniest, and Larry has all the sense of Walt. You
Yes.
don't need
Yeah, Walt is
that-
just as smart as Larry, and he insisted on you to like that. He wants to be the smartest. You know? Yeah,
Exactly.
fuck that guy.
And that leaves you with the most lovable curmudgeon in the history of Futurama, Zoidberg to marry, for sure. You spend the rest of your life with Zoidberg. Why? Well, I think he's number one, he's benevolent. He always just wants to do good by you. Number two, he's loyal. We see
probably
that.
would be, yeah.
Oh yeah. And number three, he's a man of principles. We see that when he desecrates the flag twice. When he
Oh yeah.
I mean, this
he
is
was
a-
kind of heroic in that episode.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you know,
mean-
yeah.
and he's a doctor.
Hey, by the way, happy Flag Day. It's not Flag Day when you listen
Oh,
to this,
yeah.
but it is right now while we're recording it.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Hey, what is that? The Simpsons, right? You will find true love on Flag Day. Yes. Thing. Hey, there you go. This could be a Matt
You know,
Groening
it's
podcast.
funny.
But I mean, I'm a big. You're talking to a big Zoidberg fan. I just like.
I like Zoidberg too, but
love
I
him.
think he's a liability. This is
you know what? A
Probably.
lot of us have picked him for the sexual stuff because we're like, oh,
Then I
he's a
pick
weird
him-
alien. He's
pick
gonna
him
have,
again
like,
for the
crazy,
sexual stuff.
sex stuff or whatever.
Marry mom
but
for the comfort.
Hold on, hold on.
Kill
just-
Walt
no.
because he's abusive.
no comfort.
Bang
She ain't gonna
Zoidberg.
live long, man.
Say
You
that
know.
again, Pete.
She is the world's
Marry
most
mom.
I was
going
gonna
to
say something. No one
I'm
listened
not
to Pete.
disappointed.
Marry mom, kill Walt because he's abusive, and bang Zoidberg.
At least
because
we
of the
agree
weird
on-
sex stuff.
Yes.
You marry Zoidberg. Yeah, I love that guy.
You know what? I never thought about that.
He's
but
just
like,
he's the
Clip
most.
off your junk accidentally.
like
He's
Then where
charming.
you be?
he's a sweetheart.
I could even be in an asexual marriage. You're thinking about sex when it comes to Zoidberg.
I've
You
been
really
in-
are. You're talking about like weird sex stuff with Zoidberg. But I'm just thinking
I've
about
been
the
in
That's
an
all.
asexual
Only I
marriage,
think
that's
about
why.
weird
That's
sex
the-
stuff with
I'm just
Zoidberg.
thinking about.
I
the
only think about weird
companionship.
sex stuff. Period. I have
true.
picked for all of these. I've picked Fry for the Mary or who of the option of the three, whoever was the dumbest. And I've said this like 85 times now in the first 84 episodes of this. That I just want to be the smart one in the relationship. That would be a
There you
huge
go.
win for me.
So
go.
in this instance, what is your answer?
What are the options again?
It's mom,
One of the owls.
mom, Walt, or Zoidberg.
You got an owl infestation.
We're owl exterminators.
We're owl exterminators.
That is
amazing.
one of my favorite lines.
That's a great-
period in this entire
We're
episode.
owl exterminators.
Anything.
All right. I would marry Zoidberg.
I like
for
that.
this instance
Yes.
of these three.
It doesn't count for any of the other things.
Yeah, I would kill mom. I hope that doesn't say too much
No, that's awesome.
about my Bates Hotel that I'm opening next week. And I would kill John Valley. Best callback to the first guest ever.
There you go.
Sebastian, thank you so much for being
Oh,
on.
not
You've
a
been an
problem,
awesome
man.
guest. This was a
Thank you
great
so much,
episode. We don't have a sign off line. I just want to remind everybody from the Stormcast, you're going to die. Everyone you know is going to die. It's going to be all good. And just, don't forget to neuter and spay your pets.
I already stopped the recording.